Alright, so we are back with our firing bullets, and we want to refine this so you cannot just fire a zillion bullets all at once. Remember, so far, our main character, our block man, so far the firing bullets is relatively straightforward. We've just modified our motion code. The The actual bullet is just one line repeated. Bullets right true, create the bullet. Bullets right false, create the bullet. And plus width and minus width. And just remember from a couple videos before, we've set up our bullet. Right is true and right is false to move towards the certain orientation of the screen. So let's now fire bullets unlimited, but not being able to spam the computer. So you see here, this is a when updating event. When updating. Now it's very important. I wrote this as a note to myself to remind me to tell you, can fire, we have to create another Boolean attribute, game attribute, and I'm calling mine can fire. So just again, create the new attribute. It's a Boolean, can fire. So I either can or I cannot fire. And this is also useful if you decide to go into ammunition where you're gaining ammo. In order for this to work though, make sure it is set to false. Alright? I'm sorry. Make sure it's set to true if you want to have no ammo. Okay? If you want ammo, it's going to be false. If you don't want ammo, it's going to be true. So we'll first go without ammo, so we'll set it to true. And you'd click OK. So we have this long statement here. This right here in the middle, create bullet at x of self plus width of self, is the same thing we had on our previous code. So I'm not going to drag and drop everything. If you don't remember, just refer to the previous video. So what we're doing here is we need an if statement that precedes our creating bullet now. So what we're doing is saying if, let me draw this because this is long, but everything else you'll know how to do. So we need an and we need two of these. Okay. And we're going to need a couple equals. Oops. I'll explain what all this means. So if can fire is true, meaning we're able to actually fire or we have ammo, thinking ahead, and bullets right is true. You know how to do that by now. I'm just going to click and drag this. I made a little error there. Okay, and action 1, that's what I've chosen. You could do another button like space bar, whatever you want. Choose your control here. So if you're able to fire and you're facing a direction and action 1 you're pushing, You're going to create that bullet, and you're going to immediately set can fire to false. So you cannot spam anymore, because as soon as you create one bullet, now you cannot fire anymore until a do after you can decide how many seconds you want here. I just set mine to 1 second. Then you're going to use your can fire setter and set it to true again. Alright? You're going to repeat everything we've just done. You can hold Alt or Option, depending if you're on a PC or Mac, and drag this whole code down again. And your bullets, the only change here is that instead of a plus to your right, it's a minus the width, so it's on your left. Everything else is the same. And then we're immediately setting can fire to false, and after 1 second we're turning it back on. So this is just saying we can fire once per second, and it's a odd looking code, but it's actually pretty straightforward. Hopefully by now, if you've been following these tutorials, you're picking up on some of the intuition behind all this. So you can pause this and look it over. Pause it here again if you need to see everything. But essentially, that's what's going to happen. Now if you test your game, you should be able to only fire one bullet every 1 second, no matter how many times you spam the button. See that? So if that's not fast enough, you can make it every 0.5 seconds, but definitely have some kind of interval in there to prevent glitches in your game. And now stay tuned. If you would like to have ammunition, we will show you how to set that up.